What's going on, guys? Hope all your Amazon FBA junkies are doing well out there. Essentially today I want to talk about how to pick the right product, like what we should be looking for when it comes to a product. And this is something I've been thinking about. The topic I'm going in today here is something I've been thinking about for a while now, and I go back and forth on this debate all the time. It's leaning more one way than the other right now, and it kind of goes against what I've been doing long term as well. As we, keep getting deeper and deeper in this Amazon FBA field, things change. We all know that Amazon FBA, that's why you watch, YouTube videos in general. Things change so fast in this field. We have to keep adapting and keep learning and thinking about things. And once we take action, we can kind of see what works, what doesn't, everything like that. And just, my experience, I've gone back on these two subjects for, picking our product. What's better for picking a product, okay? These two subjects are, should we pick our product, so the product we're going to sell on Amazon FBA, just based on data, okay? And so when I say data, I mean how many searches per month are people typing in the certain keywords that call that product up? What do the Google Trends look like? What a Google Keyword Planner? What are all those search terms? What's the data there? Helium 10, Jungle Scout, viral launch, all that good stuff right there. Whatever you're using, what does that data say? Like revenue per month, the competing people, Magnet IQ score, all that stuff, right? So that's the data side of things. So if things match up on the data side, is that good enough to, pick your product, go for it? Yes, it really is, but it's going to take much more work to kind of really take it the extra mile. And what I mean by that, and this is going into the other side of how we pick our products here, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, but if we pick a random product based on data, we don't know anything about those customers, right? For most people, right? If we just follow the data, most likely we're going to fall on something that doesn't align with anything we know, right? We're picking into a product niche that is random. We don't know anything about the customer. We don't know anything about this product. We don't know how to market it. We don't know the lingo the customers use. And most importantly, we don't know how to add value to that product, which I might have already mentioned already there. But essentially, that's the biggest point I want to drive home here. If we don't understand the product, we can't add value to it, and we can't understand the market in general. And that's where these long-term improvements and really understanding how to do this long-term comes into play. Yes, you can learn about this stuff too. That's hard though. Like, you're competing with people who understand that niche for their whole life because they've been inside of it. They use it every day, right? So they are the customer, and they know how to talk to their customers because they are the customer themselves. So hopefully you're following along here. That kind of goes into a passion product. So should we pick a product based on data or passion? Now, passion is, I hate this term kind of because, doesn't mean we have to be super passionate about it, but we have to have some passion for our product, okay? So that's what I mean by passion product. So if we pick that route, it's because we use this product every day. We know the customer, we know how to add value and everything like that. So passion products are good. If we break it down, what I mean by this is, again, data, just looking at numbers, where passion is like, I use this part of my daily routine every single day, or at least every other day. I know all about this, been doing this for years. What if you practice gratitude in the morning? So you have a gratitude note card or notebook or something like that you practice every day. Maybe you play field hockey, right? So these random things, like, I'm sure not a lot out there play field hockey, but if you do, you're in a very select niche of people that understand field hockey. So maybe the cleats suck, so you have to have extra padding on the heels. And these are no way, shape, or form good ideas. I'm just kind of generalizing these things, right? So if in field hockey, we understand the shin guards, the sticks, everything like that. We know all about that niche. And again, doesn't mean it's a good niche to go into, but if we play field hockey, maybe you play some pickup basketball every day. Maybe you surf, maybe you ski, maybe you travel a lot, maybe you go backpacking. Again, these are all like very kind of big themes, like, backpacking's kind of extreme, right? But, if you write down in your day, like everything you do, then you can kind of figure out like what your daily trends look like. Again, that's kind of the passion product side of things. So you're adding value by being able to know the customer, being able to improve the product, knowing what sucks about those products or what's missing in those products because you live it every single day, okay? And these aren't new ideas, data versus passion versus, everything like that. These aren't new ideas. It's just me being a civil engineering background. I always thought of data. I'm black and white. That's how I look at things. But the more I do this, the more I think passion is important, because if you want to do this for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, and possibly build a brand, which I think is also important, then you probably need to like your product field. Like you need to know more about that product field, or else you're competing with people who do. Okay, if you just go based on data, then you're kind of at a disadvantage of the people who understand that market. Okay, it's not always about the numbers. Yes, the numbers, if they make sense, fantastic, great. You can start this way. This is how I've kind of done it my entire journey. And luckily we did it early enough where we really learned about those product niches and became experts in those fields. But imagine if I knew a lot about that category or loved that niche and thought about it every single day, which unfortunately I don't in that product niche I'm in currently. That would give me such a bigger competitive advantage for that. This is kind of where I go back and forth. So should it just be a passion product or should it just be data? That's kind of like the question here. No, I think if we can have both, that's ideal. So if the data makes sense, the searches, the trends going up, everything makes sense on Helium 10 or whatever product research app you're looking at. Data, we could talk about that for hours, right? And I have so many product research videos that literally probably just talk about data a little bit. But if we also really enjoy that field, that would be fantastic. Again, because we know how to add value. We know what stinks in this field. We know what's missing in this field. We know the customer. We know their lingo. We know how to talk to them. We know what improvements need to be made. And you can keep building off that, and you're excited because it's like, I'm going to use this product. And then when you use that product for, say, 6 months, you're like, okay, I know how to make this better, or I know the second, third, fourth product I'm going to use that's missing in this market because I've gone even deeper into it. So if we can combine that with the data side of things, knowing that product, knowing the customer, everything like that, that's only going to add to it exponentially, okay? And then you're going to understand like the sub niches of that market too, which I talk about a lot too, is nestling your way into a little sub niche of a bigger niche and starting there and kind of building your way up, whether that's, just based on data, or you understand that this is a missing part of the market. A generic term or example would be like, field hockey socks for women, right? Because there's just generalized, just unisex socks, but women have different feet shape. This is a terrible example, but I think you know what I'm talking about there. It's like, there's people searching for just women field hockey socks, but no one's making those or whatever, that's again, generic, crappy example there. But I think you get what I'm saying there. So if we can combine these two, that'd be great. So how do you do this? So again, this is even harder. Like instead of looking for two fields, we're taking our day, figuring out what we like, which a lot of people, probably struggle to figure out, like, what do I even like? I do that sometimes because, I'm working a lot. So it'd be like working items, like how to be more efficient. It'd be kind of that. For me, it'd be a big topic of how to be, more efficient. I love to travel. So travel size things or things I can bring along to travel with that just make my life easier. Maybe it's work-related travel gear or whatever it is, right? So again, terrible examples here. This is something that takes hours just to get ideas kind of flowing. Get the juices flowing is kind of the way I like to put it. There's the creative side of the brain, which takes me a little bit longer than some other people to get going, just because, again, data. So if we can bring these together, that'd be fantastic, ideally, right? Ideally. So a good way to start is write down kind of like your daily activities, your weekly things, your likes, your interests, what products are involved in those, and you can kind of start there. So that's how you start your research, right? So an actual thing you could do with this, this topic we're talking about is you can write down the products the fields you really know, the fields you really enjoy, and use every day or at least once a week or something like that. You can start there with your product research. So using these ideas and these topics, you can go into Helium 10 and just start in those categories and see what you come up with, and start with your search there. So that is also a big thing, is people don't know where to start with product research because there's so many categories, everything like that. So this is a great first step of saying, hey, I'm starting here because I know these products. If I can find something that has good data and I love, that's huge, because I know that customer, I know how to add value. I'm going to have a jump up ahead of the competition. I'm going to be able to build a brand around this. If I need to bring in additional traffic, maybe I can do some type of social media, which sometimes could be your face. Other times it doesn't have to be. So there's flexibility there. But that's just a good way to start product research. And again, I'm leaning more that you need both of these to really make it long-term in Amazon FBA. Again, things change so fast. I'm sure they're going to change in a year, 2 years, but this seems kind of unbeatable as in for the long-term, because if you're really passionate about a product and a brand and the data makes sense, it's only going to get easier and easier and easier as the trend rises for that type of product. And you're already going to have a great product out there because you know all about it. So again, boring kind of lecture here, but it's just something on my mind I wanted to get out there thinking a lot about. Let me know your opinions about this. Is this a good idea? Am I stupid? Like, how are you finding your products? If you had success already, Again, I just long term, I'm always trying to think long term. When I first started this, it was all about money now, money now. I need to have money now. I do the trendy items because they're going to make me money right now. I'm going to blow up, be rich. The more I do this and the more success I've had, no, it's all about long-term thinking. Some of these long-term products I've just gotten lucky with as I've kind of done my journey, but still thinking 5-10 years in advance. How do we do something that's sustainable? How do we do something maybe we could potentially sell later and build something, bigger or at least sustainable? You don't need a $1 million a year business to quit your job and make some good money. If you're just interested in like 30K per month or whatever, this is still a great topic, because the more you have a better product and know that product and know that niche, the more likely that you've made a great product that's just going to stand the test of time and really just not be able to compete with. That's something people don't understand as well. Is these competitors come in, they're just thinking about the data. They're just doing so many products and they're not really, understanding the American consumer at all either, understanding kind of the niche of this whole thing. So they're just putting up, kind of crappy products for, yes, probably cheaper prices than sometimes we can compete with, but that doesn't matter. If we have the premium product, then over time, people know that based on reviews, based on word of mouth, eventually based on brand. And then if you have a small community, whether it's, some type of social media, whatever it may be, maybe it's a friend group, whatever it may be, you have another source of additional traffic that they don't have. Okay. And again, there's so many little rabbit holes we can go down with this conversation, but I'm curious of what your thoughts are. Like, let me know if this was boring too. Like, if you don't, Cameron, stop making these videos. They suck. Let me know down in the comments if you do enjoy it. Let me know, and I'll try to just put my thoughts on screen here whenever I'm having them, and just kind of get the feedback of everybody going forward. But all right, guys, if you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe, check out some other videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.